gonna kill you. Oh man. Oh sh. Yeah. 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 Hey guys, this is chapter 3 of the VesperArcade Super Street Fighter 4 tutorial. In this chapter, we are going to discuss how to use a joystick. Now, normally I wasn't gonna do this, but since so many people are asking me, I think it's just kind of awkward doing this, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So, I'm gonna show you guys the different positions, I guess, and the way to learn how to use a joystick the correct way, I guess, if there is one. Okay, so first let's discuss placement of the joystick. Well, there's 3 basic placements you want to do. You can play on the floor, you can play on a table, or you can play with it on your lap. Here's me playing on the floor. Pretty sweet, hey? So you can tuck your legs into the joystick, and this is actually kind of comfortable. I can't do it because my feet fall asleep when I'm doing it, but this is good if you're playing games like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But keeps the stick really stable, and you don't need anything to bring with you. It'll just kind of look a little silly if you're in a tournament and you're sitting on the floor. You might want to bring a carpet or something. But the general idea is just to tuck in your feet in between the joystick, and you play this so it's real snug. And here's me playing on my lap. This is probably the most comfortable, but the only problem with playing on your lap is that it's really, it's loose. So sometimes your joystick might just, pivot a little bit and screw up your motions, but pro players do play on their laps, and their execution is 100%. So it's definitely doable. You might want to keep in mind that when you might want to sit upright so your joystick is completely flat and not angled at all. You don't want it to angle. And just keep in mind that even though you play on your lap at home on your couch, it might be different than playing on a chair in a tournament or whatever. So this one's pretty straightforward. Okay, so here's the joystick on top of a table or any type of flat surface. Usually the most hardcore players do this because it replicates the Japanese arcade experience. You're sitting down, you're playing. One thing to note is that the joystick is pretty stable when you have it by itself, but it really depends what kind of character you play, of course, right? If you play a charged character, you'll be fine, but if you require complex motions like Viper, for example, you definitely want to bolt this down somehow. So on the bottom of the joystick are rubber feet, and depending on what kind of surface you're putting it on, it might stick pretty good. But if it doesn't, then there's a couple of things you can do. You can screw these off and nail it to a table or surface, but that's going to be a pain in the ass because that means if you go to a tournament or something, you got to bring this table with you and just look like a chump. So you have to nail it in some way that you can take it off conveniently. Another way to do it that I see some players do is they'll take a belt or any type of tying surface and they'll just tie a belt over the table and over the joystick and just strap it up. One thing I personally do is I just go down to any kind of Home Depot store or something, hardware store, and I buy industrial strength velcro, and you can just velcro it to the table if you don't mind using the velcro on the table. You can take it off pretty easily, but the joystick sticks great. And that's one way to do it without damaging or nailing a table. Okay, so after you discover what surface you're comfortable with, let's talk about the different grips. So first of all, remember there's a switch over here on the joystick, and it'll say LS, DP, or RS. And what it stands for is LS stands for left stick, DP stands for digital pad, and RS stands for right stick. Well, I don't know if DP stands for digital pad, maybe I got that wrong. Anyways, it's the D-pad, and you want to set it to the middle, which is DP. You want to set it to that. I know this works for the regular T sticks. I don't know if it works on this one in particular, the S versions, but what I noticed is that if you have it set to LS, sometimes your character will walk forward for no reason. I don't know why. There's something sensitive about it, but anyways, just make sure you set it to the middle one, DP, okay? Okay, so notice how the buttons are very ergonomic. So when you place your hand up, the jabs and shorts are a little bit lower than normal. So some people aren't comfortable with that, the ergonomic button layout. Some people like the traditional American layout. So what you can do is you just unassign these 2 buttons, and then make this your jab and short, or your weak punch and weak kick, and then just make it go 1, 2, 3 like this. So jab, strong, fierce, short, forward, roundhouse, like that. So you don't have to worry about these buttons. And some people like that. They play it with straight like that, so it's convenient. So you can play around with it and see which one you're most comfortable with. Now, probably the most common question is the joystick grip. Now, as you can see, naturally, I go 2 fingers over, other fingers tucked in, and I go over like this with my thumb. So I'm essentially moving the joystick with just these 3, my index, middle, and thumb, and I have it wrapped around like this. That's just naturally how I use the joystick. It's how I use with the American sticks as well. So it's the same grip. Now, there is no best grip. It's very, very important. No best grip. The best grip is what's most comfortable to you. Okay? So let me just show you a few different grips that I've seen many players use. You can go underhand, pinky under, and grip it like this, underneath, like teacup styles. You can go middle under, like this, or even all the way down like this. This looks awkward as hell. And you can go over the entire hand. This feels terrible for me. I don't think I can play like this. Maybe if you have small, really small hands. 3 fingers over. The way I do it, 2 fingers over. You can play like this, just kind of like a pinch. That looks really awkward too, but I have seen people do it. I've seen people play crosshand, Mexican styles. Like I've seen that before too. So just play around with it, see what's most comfortable to you, and then hop into training mode, and we're gonna test some stuff out.